Okay, then. Fantastic. Let's bring you in. Oh, oh God, come on. Sound test. Sound test. Sound test. Hello? That's more like it. Union Pacific fan 4014. Hello, good to see you. Good evening. How are you doing? Right. Time to do the almighty Discord ping. Okay. There we go. Right, so I've done the ping. Let's see how many people show up. I've ordered parts finally for my big boy, but won't be able to finish until mid to late August. Well, at least you get around to it. There's going to be times where you will not have the chance to do any building. So that's not bad, I guess. Right. Let me go to... I'm going to keep that one open. I don't need that one. There we go. Right. Well, I tell you what, let me just... One more sound test. All right, we're golden. Right, so let's give it a few moments for people to tune in. Whew, it's going to be interesting. There's a spot right there in the middle of the screen. Is there anything on that? I don't know. That might just be a light reflection. Oh, but I tell you what, it looks all right so far. Tell you what, the ultimate test. Can you see a minifigure decently? Oh, you kind of can as well. Oh my God, it's it's so much better than my previous one. If I do that, you can actually see the minifigure. Okay, we're using this one going forward. Someone is screaming outside. Okay. Okay. UP Fan also says going to be using a lot of reference images when I start building. Not sure if I'll have to watch a time lapse of building for the motors or something. I mean, get as many reference images as you can. You don't need loads, but to have some is a very good thing. I don't think you'll need so many because, if anything, half and half your reference images. Half of your images should be of the real locomotive, and the other half should be of what other people have made. How have other people made their big boys? Because you will discover a building technique, or you may recognize a way or a certain shape that how certain bricks were put together. You might look at that and think, I might actually want to try and replicate that. I've had that loads of times. So don't stick to just the real locomotive. Get some images of how other people have made it. That will help you just as much, if not more. Who's my leaderboard? Oh, the leaderboard changes every live stream. It's not consistent. That's really annoying. Yeah, I've been looking at some images of the Lego versions of it, plus the real thing too. Yeah, that balance is really good. That also reminds me, I remember watching some Jay Leno's Garage on YouTube ages ago. I think still got the video up there. But Jay Leno being a massive petrol head, big fan of cars, but he's got a video with 3 million views. It's one of his most viewed video on his channel of the Union Pacific Big Boy, which is pretty cool. So yeah, just shows to go, yeah. How good locomotives are. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted by all the feedback on Fantastic. So I've seen Fantastic Four, and it's such a good film. It's made about 218 at the moment for its opening weekend. Superman apparently has made $500 million. Oh, wow. Yeah, we had some good superhero films this year. Fantastic Four was such a good film. I really hope this isn't the last time we see Galactus. But if it is, then, yeah, I don't know. Rock Band Hyenas here. Good to see you, my main man. How are you doing? And Terminator Fan 1984. Hello, good to see you. Sam Brown is also here. Thank you guys all ever so much for tuning in. How are you all doing? Good to see you. Doing good, doing good. Seeing Thunderbolts back when it drops. That was it. Thunderbolts is a fucking good film. That's the point, because everyone says post-Endgame there hasn't been that much good stuff, but there really has. In terms of just films, I think the best films, in no particular order, the best films that Marvel have made since Endgame, Shang-Chi is up there as a really good film. Black Panther 2 is a great film, given the circumstances of Chadwick Boseman's passing. Spider-Man No Way Home, obviously, legendary film. Absolutely wicked. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is a top fiver. Absolutely all-time top fiver. And Fantastic Four, it feels like an early MCU film. It really does. But the stakes of it and the post-credit scene make it feel like a later film, like it should. So it's really well done. It's so well balanced. I'm trying to think what else came out. What films were in MCU? Hang on. MCU Phase 5. I didn't see MCU Season 5. Again, I'm sticking only to the films, but a massive shout out has to go to Loki, the season. What a show. Deadpool and Wolverine, of course. That's an absolute banger of a film. I, for one, really do like Captain America Brave New World. I know a lot of people don't like that film, but I'm a big fan of Captain America, and Sam Wilson is a great character. I think it does a bit too much with the balance of villains it's got there. I mean, the film's been out for half a year now, so Red Hulk should have been the main focus. I think the introduction of the Serpent Society was a bit of a miss. But I like that it's been introduced and it's acknowledged, so we can use that for the next Captain America film, maybe. And, of course, the leader. Really cool. So overall, I really do love Captain America Brave New World. Just a bit too much happening at once. Right, so let's have a look at the chat. So, UB Fan says the only light grey part on the locomotive will be the side rods, because it already has taken quite a lot of money for some parts, so I'll see how it'll turn out eventually. No, fair enough. I mean, that is... Take the time to get the parts in the colour that you want, so you have the final version of the model that you truly want. It doesn't matter if it takes another 3 months to get. You can definitely build it with parts in different colours, but keep that vision in your mind of what the final thing looks like, because that is a huge deal. It really does matter. Don't settle for something lesser than what you want. So Josh, once again, good to see you. Sam says, that transparent green thing behind you, is it a Sonic Deploy? Yes, it is. I went to a car boot a few weeks ago, in fact. So Sonic Deploy, a clear 18 stick mag, a banana 10 dart mag, and a clear on one side 6 dart mag. Oh, pardon me. All of that for £2.50. I was going to try and sell it on, but so far I've had no success, which is a bit of a shame. I saw, I asked the guy how much you want for it. He said $2.50. So yeah, done deal. I mean, it's a Sonic Series blaster. Straight away, that's cool. But yeah, that's a good deal. I mean, that alone for the 18 dart stick mag, that's good. So I'm going to take it with me to a car boot, see what kind of deal I can get, because selling it online just hasn't really worked, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, the fact that I've still got this really annoys me. Oh well, can't do too much about that now. Terminator Fan 1984 says, I am good. Shared Lego Mox involving a fictional farm owned railroad 7 days ago in the proper channels on Discord. Also, I had to retract my previous, as I actually tapped send early. Oh, I've done that. I'll be in the middle of typing out some long ass message, but so many times, you click the wrong key. But sometimes I've hit enter by mistake, and you got this half an essay, and you can't edit it or add to it. So you're like, shit. So you got to try and delete it or try and change it afterwards. Yeah. I've been there. Right, let's have a quick drink. Good stuff. Oh, yeah. Right, so we don't actually have too much planned tonight. It's got to be said. I paid more than that for my regular deploy with a broken light. Oh, man. That's a bit of a shame. That is a bit of a shame. I remember when I got the deploy when it first came out in 2010. I was 12 years old at the time. And then the lead up to the Stampede. And then a year later, we had Vortex. Do you remember Vortex? I remember Vortex was the next biggest thing. Discs were awesome. But at the same time, it was kind of out of date because they were using weak springs in their blasters. So the darts could only fire at 30 FPS. But the discs, using that same system, could fire further because they were disc. It was much different to darts. But then they started making elite blasters, where they just took out all the restrictions and made the blasters a lot more powerful. And just like that, Vortex was useless. It's still really cool to see the Vortex blasters. The Nitron in particular, everyone had a Nitron. If you can get a Nitron, everyone had one. The scope, it's such a cool scope. It's like my favorite scope. It's really cool. RK, hello. Thank you very much for tuning in. How are you doing? Whoops. Don't minimize the tab. Very good to see you. How are you doing? Oh, by the way, something I should mention is that Lego Mox involving said railroad have a story with them. Very cool. Almost as if someone else here has made some Lego Mox with a story. We'll get to that later. Same with the formal vehicle owned by said farm, which is in other Mox. Is it in there now? I know I've seen it. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I remember them. Really cool. Yes, I do remember seeing all that. Love to see it. It's pretty good. Vicky has arrived in the chat. Hello, good to see you. How are you doing? I'm using your webcam. It's infinitely better than my other one. So as a way of proving how good this new webcam is, I can show you minifigures, and it's not blurred. It's actually, you can see it. It's so much better. Wow. So showing you some new stuff. Well, I have technically two things to show you for this live stream. So I can actually get a clear view on it. So that's wicked. Thank you, Vicky, for the gift. It's going to be put to great use. I'm trying to rebuild my set of Luke's Land Speeder. Which version of the Land Speeder? What's the set number? Luke's. I'll tell you. Oh, wait. You had it. Luke's Land Speeder. How many versions? There are 5. Oh, I had an early version from way back. God, I remember that one. Yeah, this is the 2010? Yeah, the 2010 version. That's the one I've got. There's 3 micro versions. Okay, that's... Let me just put Land Speeder. Okay, here's way more. Oh my god, that's such a basic model. 1999. God damn. There is a mock that someone that I follow on Instagram has made using the Land Speeder and turned it into a car. It's a really cool mock, but at the same time, I remember seeing someone, I suppose, copywriting that. Well, sorry, not copywriting, plagiarizing that particular design. and sold it into a set, which is bollocks. But that's also why I don't put my stuff online in certain places. The UCS land speeder looks wicked. Uh, 75173. Which one is that one? It is the 2017 version. Excellent. Yeah, that's a cool version. It was, I think it was AliExpress. Yeah. I want to say Mold King had a listing for it as well. I don't know which way around it actually is, because I want to say that he made the mock. Someone turned it into a set however long later. Because I remember messaging him one morning on my way to work after making that discovery to say, you talk about how mocks and such have been plagiarized in the past. I think you just suffered it as well. And he sent a message back, kind of thanking me for the awareness. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Right, we've got a bit of catching up to do. I think the Big Y had a slight gradual dip towards the cab on the boiler near the firebox. Don't know how I'm going to make that angle pieces when I have a boiler. You are able to figure out dips. There's a couple of ways of doing it. Hinges to begin with, using some sideways building. Or, depending on how steep that dip is, you could have your layer there, put a plate on one side, just a one wide plate. Then you've got your other layer of tiles, and you just clip it downwards, for lack of a better word. You just push it down on one end, and it creates that slight gradual, that gradual dip. I don't know how, I haven't looked at the Big Boy in a while, but depending on what that angle is, there's a couple of methods straight off the bat that I can think of doing. Sam says, fun facts, Vortex blasters work in a completely different way to pretty much any other Nerf blast. The Vortex uses a spring directly to catapult the disc down the barrel. I remember the Praxis. That's the name. It was the pump action magazine blaster. Now, I remember when that first came out, people tried to slam fire it and jam the blaster. There was a way of being able to slam fire that blaster where you could fire it normally, and as you were pulling, I want to say it was as you were pulling back the handle, you could press and hold the trigger, and that would trigger a fake slam fire. Either that, or you can press and hold the trigger as you were pumping the handle forward, and that would create a slam fire effect. But the funny thing is, there was a version of the Praxis that came with a 40 disc drum sometime later, which had a proper slam fire feature. So, funny how it all works out. Okay, then. I've seen someone build a replica land speeder that drives on 3 wheels hidden underneath. Cool, of course someone has. Vicky saying the camera looks good. Yes, it really does. Thank you once again. It looks it's so much better than the other camera I've had. The problem now is I got 2 junk cameras. I think I paid 20 quid for each of them. So if I'm going to sell them, I'll be lucky to get a $5. Well, they're coming with me to the car boot, I guess. Actually drove. It was for a TV show about custom cars. Nice, of course. Rock Band Hyena says, never heard about mocks being stolen as made into sets. Well, it's not unheard of. It's so much more common with instructions, just people reselling instructions or buying the instructions, building the model, and then selling it in its own way somehow somewhere else. But this is a full... Let me try and find it. Because I know... Sorry, pardon me one sec. I know it was on Mold King. I'm 100% certain it was on Mold King. Let me just... Okay. If I can find it, I'll link it in Discord. Straight away, there it is. Okay. Wait, hang on. That's the... That's for a display case. But straight away, I've seen it there. Come on, you bastard. Where is it? Mold King train sets. At least the train sets that Mold King make are so good. Where is it? Why is it not coming up? Okay, I need to what is it called? They've got a DeLorean and a Ghostbusters Ecto 1 and a Batmobile in this style as well. Terrible. I'll tell you what. If I just oh wait. Copy image. Let me put it into Lego chat. Top right was a mark someone I follow. Cannot confirm the other three. Yep, okay, that's in there. But even then, funky design. It's got to be said. We have a lot of people here tonight. Thank you all ever so much for tuning in. It's so good to see all this interaction. Thank you ever so much. I love you all for coming along. It's so good to see everyone. Excellent stuff. Right, let's get back to this. Half the sets on AliExpress are stolen designs of re-riggable. Facts. Sad facts, but still facts. TFan says, I have Rock and AliExpress shop stolen Lego mocks. I have Rock and AliExpress shop stolen Lego mocks from me and others before. When I contacted them to take down my mocks, while they took down the Lego mocks, but they stole from my Rebrickable. Okay, well, that's first of all sad that you've had something stolen from you, but at least according to this, they did take it down. So that's good. I mean, you've got all the evidence to say it's yours because, you got pictures and files and so forth. Sam says, yeah, Hasbro. I remember. It's still Hasbro. It has been ever since Elite 2.0. But they saw that people wanted a stand for a practice, and they gave us the Paragon and its redonkulous 40-dart drum. Or disc, in this case. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, the fact that they pulled off a disc drum, that's pretty good. That is really impressive. It's a shame Vortex didn't really catch on. Why was the Pyrogon a different color? It doesn't match any of the other Vortex attachments. It's stupid. UP fan says, anyway, I think I'm going to go do some work on the project. It starts with the first set of drive wheels and articulation. Yes, the very first thing you should do is get the first driving unit made. Once you've got that figured out, you can replicate that at least 90%, because I know the front unit looks slightly different to the rear units, at least in where the cylinders are located. Get those two made first. Get your articulation points in. So on the front unit, have the articulation point as far forward as you can. On the rear unit, have the articulation point as far back as you can, because the further back they are, as it goes around corners, the less the front and the back of the boiler are going to swing out. It's so noticeable on R40s, but it makes a huge difference. It reminds me of the days back when I was making the early versions of Emerald Champion. It was always so fascinating. Well, it's not fascinating. Well, it was fascinating. I just like using that word. But it was always so weird seeing how much it sticks out because of where I put the articulation points. So as far to the edges as you can makes a big difference. If you're going to be powering it, that's going to be its own challenge. I've never been one to power my locomotives, so I can't help you there. But that's where I would go from. The camera, RK says the camera is definitely an improvement. Cool, I'm glad that other people do see and agree with this. Now you just need a way to hook up to your computer so you can do a computer screen overlay and show imagery on stream. I really do need to look into that. I think I have to download, potentially purchase some softwares or some programs that will allow me to do that. I will look into it. I know I will look into it. But I don't know if I've got a fancy enough. I mean, I actually do. The tower is powerful. I've got a decent microphone and camera now. Yeah, I should look into it. Actually properly do it. Oh, pardon me. Had a burp coming. Right. quick drink. It's the afternoon here for the land of hot dogs and bald eagles. What time exactly? I'm going to guess 2 in the afternoon. We'll go with that. Right, all I'm doing is moving the mouse. It's shaking my camera. Wow, that's really... Oh, okay. Let's have a look at the model, shall we? So my latest creation and my last one for at least a week. So I've got a big move around coming up in this place. And the next time we do a live stream, it will be after August comes and goes. Because, of course, leading up to August is, of course, Street Racers Chapter 3. So, Chapter 3 has been in the works for a long time. It's fully edited, fully filmed, it's ready to go. The first episode, which is the season opener, goes live on July 31st. Every day of August, from the 1st to 30th, is an episode of Street Racer character profiles. On August 31st is the season finale, and the story continues in the future when I get around to making season 4. We are so close to it being released. I am very excited. I've seen all of it anyways. I've made all of it, but I'm still so happy and proud with the end product. Writing Chapter 4 is going to be interesting. I've got some ideas on how to make it all sensational, because I want to make sure it continues to level up in story quality. So we can get there. It's possible. So just before we get a model out, we'll get one more message in chat. Terminator fan saying it's 2:24, so I'm 5 hours ahead on certain time zone. And Sam saying, the Paragon does share the color scheme with the Diatron and Revonix 360. Well, yeah, technically true, but not the original Vortex line. It's... I kind of view it similar to Elite's blue, and then the Elite, I think it's called the XD, where it was inverted, so the blue was white and the white was blue, so it's predominantly white. But at least there were attachments that worked with it. I don't know. At least it's not a case of the Modulus Mediator, where that was its own shade of white, and most other, I think, if not all, Modulus attachments, barring the ones it came with, would match with it because it was a different shade of white. It was weird. I don't know why Nerf did that. Right, let's have a look at the new model. So I don't know if I'm actually done with this. The shape of it is done. It's more of a problem with getting more color on it. I don't know what other color I could use, because I have to figure out a way to get it balanced, I guess. So I've been wanting to make another LED sled. So if you saw in the Discord server, in the Gen chat, I found 2 Hot Wheels cars. The front end of one and the back end of another I thought looks really cool. And I wanted to put those 2 together to make one car. It was tricky, to say the least, because getting those specific shapes was proving really frustrating with this model. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do something special. Before I show the actual final thing, let me show you this first. So I was in the process of making this model, and this was the Mark 1 of it, or the remains of Mark 1. A lot of this has been taken off and put onto the main model. So I very nearly threw this on the ground, literally just full on dashing it on the ground, because I was so pissed off with myself in not getting the model I wanted, not getting the model I desired, not getting the shapes that I really wanted to get to accomplish the final design. So, after some back and forth, 2 days of building, come and gone, going to bed last night thinking, what if I tried one more thing? The original idea was to have the wheels tucked in, but there was a particular design I wanted but couldn't quite accomplish. After figuring out something quite specific, I now have something closer to the model I want. So, how's this for a LED sled? It looks like a dragster as well, because of that massive spoiler. But this, It needs more color. It really does. But still, the end result is something much better than what we had previously, or what was going to be previously. So we got some stickers on the side. These are supposed to be tiny skulls. We got the exhaust pipes here at the front, a small flame sticker, which in tiny text that says V8. It's supposed to be stickers from a Tiny Turbo set, which is why you can't really see it. Some more decals on the back spoiler. A snipped sticker here. There was supposed to be something else that carries on the front, but I just wanted the flames and the number 13. On the fronts, well, if I do it this way round, this was, again, another state of back and forth as to how I wanted this to look, but ultimately I'm happy with the end result. We have some bull horns and the massive engine hood sticking out. I think that's pretty good. It's weird because, we just got this random engine just sticking out on its own. But still, I think that's better than just having this hood flat. It has been a long time since I've built a car with this particular windscreen piece. And this was the only one that I really wanted to use for making this car. I tried other shapes, none of them really worked. So this is what we got. And of course the spoiler, which is actually really funky. Another sticker there on the back, which was initially on the top. But I think that just being plain black looks better. The back as well, nice big bumper. Again, there's no exhaust on the back because we have them near the front of the car. Are they not? This is frustrating because the exhaust pipes are put on quite fragilely, if that's even a word. But yeah, that's what we're rocking with. I do need to get some more color on this, especially on the inside, because right now on the inside, I'll show you the minifigure for this car as well. Perfect. So inside, it's completely black, and I'm going to change that for red again to give it some more vibrance, some more color, just make it look less dim, I guess. I can change out the steering wheel too. Give that a it's a light gray one. I can turn that into a red one. But yeah, this is my latest creation. This will not be seen in Street Racers Chapter 3. It will not be seen in Street Racers Chapter 4, technically, because all 30 models for that have already been figured out. So allow me to show you the minifigure. I'll quickly catch up with the chat, and then we will go into more detail as to why this model has something unique about it. So, notification, I can start off. Sam Brown says, okay, that's awesome. Thank you. I'm very happy with how this finally turned out. I do have two LEDs. I'll have to put them together, do a little comparison style video, or maybe not video, but get some pictures of them next to each other. They're pretty good. RK says, I recently stopped at a gigantic marketplace in Ohio. There was a booth that sold Lego. They were selling parts. I got a bag of parts and good parts. I built another hopper car with some of them. Excellent. That's pretty cool. Going to big outdoor markets with people just selling loose Lego and even just used sets. That's pretty cool. So, of all the minifigures I've got, for a car like this, what should the driver look like? This is a special occasion. The driver has to match the car. Who else could it be? In a studded leather suit, sunglasses, and a weird haircut. It couldn't be anyone else. That's a hairy chest he's got there as well. It's a perfect minifigure. Rock Band Hyena says, got to work soon, so I gotta go. Thank you very much for tuning in for as long as you have. Good to see you again. Yeah, have a good shift. Enjoy yourself. Thanks again for coming along. So once again, this is our minifigure. Perfect for it. I was going to say the Grim Reaper. That's a good nickname for this car. So fast and dangerous, it's been nicknamed the Grim Reaper. I love it, Sam. Absolutely love it. So, once again, newest creation. What can you spot about this car that makes it ironically stand out, but at the same time is tucked in? So this was the thing I really wanted to do. The previous LED sled, and there's only technically one car I've done this with, where I have tucked in the wheels. Again, it has all my cars have door handles. All of my cars have door handles, side view mirrors, spoilers, lights, and license plates. They will have accurate details to make them look like realistic cars. I'm referring to the wheels. They're tucked in. So this was good to figure out. So once again, there's another car model I've made where I've tucked in the wheels, and it uses a 4-stud long 2x4 with bricks with Technic holes kind of built into them. If I was going to use them, the side panels in front of the wheels would have to be 2 plates higher and only 1 plate in width to cover the wheel. So in order to get this figured out, I had to play around with how the wheels, I guess, work. You right? Good. So as you can see here, the wheels are tucked in, and it's not really sat on any particular piece. This is a 5-stud long Technic axle with these half. I don't know what you call. I'm not a Technic person, but it's these thin spacers. Again, I can't think what the term is, but this is enough to make this section with the wheels essentially 6 studs wide, which allows me to accomplish a certain shape and pattern I wanted the first time round. It's breaking off. So by the way, Sam, yes, all my cars have door handles, again, headlights, rear lights, the full shebang, basically to make sure it looks like a realistic car, because I've made cars, especially early on, that didn't have any of that, and it looked weird. The only oddity is the fact that only one of my cars has a representation of windscreen wipers, which I think is actually quite funny, because I could really go back through all of my models and put windscreen wipers on, but it would look a bit out of place, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, let me just make sure. Sorry, quick interruption. Right, that was the girlfriend getting herself a snack. Love my girlfriend. And when I said Grim Reaper, I meant this. Meant as in that the Grim Reaper should be the driver. Oh, should be the driver. But now we got to name the car the Grim Reaper. That's much more cool. So yes, all distractions aside now. So if I turn it this way around, because I've taken that section off, so you can see on the front here how those wheels are tucked in. So this is going to be very useful for people going forward, whoever wants to build their own cars like this. So these Speed Champions wheels, both versions that you get in sets, are 1.5 bricks thick. So what you can see here, so you've got 2 wheels, you've got 2 studs in the middle to hold them, and these half-wide, again, spacers, for lack of the proper word. That is 6 studs in thickness. Now, I'm using some brackets to create some more space between the wheel and the wheel arch that I wanted. It's a very small amount of space, but it's all the model needs. I'll tell you what, let me try and pardon me. I've got an idea. So, when I first started making this, the wheel cover looked something like this, just using a bland 1x6 tile, but this would be raised by 2 plates. So basically, this much wheel was still exposed, and it looked out of place. But again, I was using a much chunkier brick in order to accomplish that, which really didn't help. So after last night's very late thought of whether this would work. Thankfully, it does. And the idea of wanting to use some certain pieces in the first place can now come to fruition. So I've got, in particular, these shape tiles. I like to call them bow tie tiles because they look, I don't know, if you put them on like a larger scale minifigure, they look like a bow tie, at least to me. So a couple of those and the related pieces to make this. That is now the mudguard, or at least the wheel arch, for the car. So with 4 of these on there, looking closer, you can see how it's tucked in. And again, perfectly smooth rolling. It's all there. Works wonders. So if I ever do models that have parts tucked in the future, I can now use that going forward. And the reason why I'm happy with this is because the wheels aren't so thin. They're not so closely tucked in that it looks stupid. I think this is going to help with certain car models in the future. There's definitely going to be a couple that I will want to do. And the possibility is there. The key thing with this is the fact that it's so low down. I mean, if this was any higher, it would look out of place. So even for, just thinking about if I was going to make my own Hudson Hornets, the wheels on the rear of the car are covered. It would have to be that height. It couldn't be any lower or any higher or any lower, if I get my bloody words out. So that's helped me discover something new. I just got to figure out what other color I should add. It's going to be its own challenge. I was thinking, if anything, maybe dark grey on like the doors, but I really don't know. The issue I've got is this was made with the intention to be completely black, but to have loads of flame stickers on it at the same time. I don't have any more flame stickers, and the ones I do have are coated with the color red in the background, not black. Bugger. So I've now got to find some other pieces, or even just other stickers that have flames on them. I don't mind having that still, just keeping it black and adding flame stickers, because ideally that's what I want. I want that because that was the initial design in the first place. Is that where that piece came from? Oh no, it was something else. Never mind. But yeah, basically that's my newest creation. 3 days of building, 2 days of torment, and finally figuring out today. That is a bloody cool car. I do like that. Hoo-wee. Well, what a show. Sorry, just quickly checking. Oh, we did. Oh, wow. Oh, no, someone else did. Oh, that's good. Right. I'll tell you what, since that's up there, let's talk about this now. So, Gert's Lug is the LEGO user group that I'm with here in Southwest England. Our next LEGO show is on September 21st, and it is a show that I am hosting. Do I have my leaflets? Where's my posters? Hang on. There we go. This is technically an out-of-date poster because I've been able to get some tickets set up online. But that is the show poster. I'm guessing it's not mirrored on the... Okay, good. So yes, that is the show poster. That is, I think, probably the best graphic design work I've ever done. I'm very keen to get this show going. And I've just made a notice out in the club page to get people signed up, and in the past at least half an hour 2 more people have signed up. Yeah, so good. So the public side of things, with this new show, I am Gert's Lug's official social media man. Now I can do so much in regards to getting this published online. looking at individual displays. That might be a good idea to try and. That's a point. Where's this thing? Here we go. I've got one of these. Now, this was only £5. Let's open this right now because I haven't actually had the chance to do that yet. So this is a plug-in microphone kit. That's one of our club members who primarily uses the club's TikTok page. Or at least it's something similar, just a plug-in microphone. And one thing I've really wanted to do is interviews. Oh, he's got a clip on the microphone. That's cool. So that's the microphone. There's our little plug-in thing. Do I need to download an app? No, it just says the ones that you can use it for aren't affiliated. Okay, well that's good. Just as long as it still works. Terminator fan says, whilst the stream is going on, I'm working on my latest Disney Cars NASCAR custom. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Luke, I should be picking up a new to me used 3D printer on August 16th. Going to be printing lots of wheels and train track. Very cool. Very, very cool. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear that. Okay. I think that's the upstairs neighbors. Sorry, someone's screaming upstairs. I don't know if you can hear it. If you can, I do apologize. If you can hear it, let me know. Otherwise, we're good to carry on. So, where were we? That's our microphone kit. So this will be plugged in. That's a thing. Should I try this out now? Well, I'm not going to try it out now, but what will it look like when I plug it in? So I've got my phone here. You can see the light coming off it. Hang on, let me make sure I'm connected on the right Wi-Fi. Yep. All right, here we go. Connected, disconnected. Oh, you can't be kidding me. Really? Charging connected device. What? Okay, this is... Why are you charging the device? This is stupid. All right, I'll leave that for later because this is weird. But ultimately, I'm really hoping that using this stuff will allow me to get some more social media press out there for the lug. Because I really would love to do some interviews. And with our main event coming in November, I really want this to work. So I'm going to put that back in the box now, I think. But yeah, that's it was only £5, so it's not exactly a waste of money if it doesn't work. Right. Anyways, that was something else I could bring up. Terminator fan also says it is one of 4 customs. When the current one I am working on is based on Ty Dillon's Sea Beast. Right, I need to look up what that is. Ty Dillon's Sea Beast. Is it just Dillon? Yeah, Ty Dillon's Sea Beast. Car. What am I looking at? Oh, okay. Of course, NASCAR should have seen this coming. That's a cool livery. Cream and red. That's really nice. Seafood to love. Wow, fair enough. That is pretty good. That's a point, because tan is a color I refuse to build with. No doubt there's loads of brick shapes available in tan, but I don't know why, but that's the one color I just feel like I don't want to touch. Like white and tan and red and tan are probably the two color schemes I'm most keen to try when it comes to making a car model. But at the same time, I don't feel like I want to touch the tan color. I don't. Maybe it's just because of the amount of parts I've got. I mean, my box of tan parts is completely packed, but it's mostly color, shape. I should say that are so basic, or either really basic or they're very specific. So me using them has become a bit of a turn off, so to say. I think I might downsize the amount of tan parts I've got, because I remember when I went to an auction, a Lego auction back in 2016, or maybe 17, but one of those 2 years when we got a load of the Lego train stuff back then. One of the lots I got came in this cardboard crate, for lack of a better word, and there was a load of loose pieces inside of it, in which was loads of tan pieces, and they were tiles. I want to say they were 1x8 tiles, some normal, and some that have the slider thing connected to it, like the slider tooth connected to it. Yeah, there was absolutely loads of it. You can use the tan pieces to make a beach themed car. I mean, the tan, it's weird. The thing is, as well, it's not so much a themed car, it's the color. Because with the new Speed Champions Honda S2000 that's out, it's a different color pink than what I've got. I've got colors or parts in the shade of bright pink, which is what that set comes in. There's loads of good pieces in that set, and if I wanted to make a car using that color, I can make a chunky Bricklink order from one store that has loads of pieces, and that will get me going. It's more so having to commit to another color, which I don't think I want to do. Maybe one day I'll be convinced. I really don't know. But yeah. I really don't think I'm going to use tan. Just for that reason. Luke, the SX Hot. The SX Hot. Is that the brand name? That's a weird name. The motorized piston pump has finally hit store shelves. It's basically a Stampede that hits 150 FPS out of the box. It includes a rechargeable battery for $70. Right. How can I... Okay, so copy. X-Shot. Oh, okay. Motorized piston pump. I was watching some Volcom videos recently. Is that what that one is? That looks familiar. Yeah, that looks like it. Motorized piston pump. Yeah, this is the one that I was watching. I just decided to go back and rewatch. Well, not rewatch, but revisit Captain Xavier and Volcom. Just to, what's been going on in the Nerf hobby, what's new, what's going on out there. And that actually looks familiar. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I love the Stampede. I really do. I think it overtook the Regulator as my favorite blaster because of how the firing mechanism works. And the fact that you can get one that hits that hard. Yeah, that's good. I just wish I kept my one. I don't know, really, because when I moved into this place, I basically abandoned all of my Nerf stuff, including my custom Stampede, which I don't really regret, because I wouldn't be doing anything with it now anyways. I don't know, it's just like, it's probably the one blaster I probably should have taken with me. Well, decisions have been made. Life comes and goes. Yeah. Okay, we have about 5 minutes left. Time to do some end of stream Q&A. Any questions? Any questions? Any at all? within reason, as always. Well, I think if anything else, we should probably be prepared for all of August, because, like I mentioned previously, oh, I got hiccups now. Oh, I drank that a bit too quick. No questions at all. Not even favorite color. How do you get rid of hiccups? That'd be a good question. Oh, for God's sake. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Right, I think I'm going to end the stream here, in fact, because I can't continue when I got hiccups. So, if you haven't noticed, I have been leading up to the next chapter of Street Racers. So this has been in the works for a couple of months. Pinch your nose and drink a soda quickly. I've got no soda in here, so I can't do that method. Yeah, this is not going to work. So allow me to make my closing statement as I give some hiccups. So once again, we are on our way to Street Racers Chapter 3. So this season has been in the works for not that soon after Chapter 2. So the reason why it took so long is because I wanted to make some more cars and get ready for Chapter 3. When I was making Chapter 2, I had 25 cars made, and the monster trucks that represented episodes 26 to 30 were going to be its own idea. And the fact that I had monster trucks, it didn't really sit right with me because they weren't traditional, conventional street racers. So I wanted to make sure that I had 30 models first to film Chapter 3 with, but I also wanted to make sure that the story that I had in mind was the one that I wanted. So the original plan for Chapter 3 was to be, again, about based around the monster trucks, but that kind of fell through after I had nothing strong to go with. The original plan for Chapter 3 was then going to be all about a World Grand Prix using race cars, but because it was more race cars than street cars, that idea was abandoned and all the race cars got rebuilt. So now, Street Racers Chapter 3 has an all-new story. All the profiles fit around it. The ending leads really well into the opener that I have that I have planned or in mind for Chapter 4. So I'm really excited for Chapter 3 to come out. I'm really excited to see what the reactions are going to be. I know that Chapter 1, when it came out, was basically something completely different and new, so it didn't get the best reactions, and the view counts on those videos are less than preferred, but at the same time they still have a semi-adequate performance. Chapter 2, however, has that sense of familiarity. Story has progressed, so there's a lot more views, but the videos that went out for that, and again, I'm really glad to see that I can look back and see all these views, all the attention, how successful this chapter did, how well this chapter did. So Chapter 3 is going to be on its way in just a couple of days. I, for one, think that it is going to be very well received. I think it is going to be probably the best performing season so far. Definitely for two reasons. First of all, a much better story. And second of all, much better production. So different sets for the profiles, a new phone, which means the camera is way better. Again, that familiarity of how to edit the videos together and knowing how I want to visualize my story. So when you look at the opener and the finale, it's going to look so much better than previous chapters. So yeah, I think we're in for a really good time. And once chapter 3 is airing, I will not be doing any live streams. So the reason why I'm choosing to do that is because I do not want to interfere with the airing order of chapter 3 at all. I want all the focus to go onto that. I don't want to do any live streams, no updates, nothing else otherwise. So yeah, the next live stream will be on the 7th of September. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it then. Bit of an awkward ending because of the hiccups. But we got there. This was an interesting show. So many people came along and said hello. Thank you everyone so much who did. Bloody hiccups ruining the end. But I'll tell you what, it's been so good to see you all. Thank you so much to Union Pacific Fan 4014, Rock Band Hyena, Sam Brown, who came along and said hello, Terminator Fan 1984, RK315, Vicky Too Good. It's so good to see everyone in the chat. So good to see everyone commenting, saying hello, asking questions, just getting some news out there. It's so good to be able to see you all, chat with you all. These streams are so much fun to do. It's good that I'm actually getting back into the rhythm of doing these after my slump with the live streams. So yeah, the next time you see me do a live stream, this background will be different. That's going to be fun. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all ever so much for tuning in. In a few days, a brand new series releases. I'm so excited for it. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you tune in for Street Racers Chapter 3 because I'm posting it everywhere. It's going to be so much fun. I will see you all on the 31st. A new chapter's coming, folks. It's going to be fun. All right. Bye-bye.